Hello? Oh. Chat is so tiny. It looks good. Okay, let's do this. Wow, it's so small. You're so right. Let's do.
Yeehaw. Good morning.
I love how tiny it is. I can't believe how super easy to read it is. Okay, this is what I want. We're getting closer. Here's the thing. I'm like 15 minutes late because every time I'm like, oh, I'm so excited to do this new thing, I forget that I have to add in the new overlay. So I hadn't added in the overlay yet. The girl Beth is gone. We're pointed like really far down.
Yeehaw.
Long live the girl Beth. That we finished the guest room, so it's in there. So now Hannah doesn't have to sleep behind us. Or sleep behind stream. Behind where stream would be. Yes. Now we have a little talk show. We are not actually reading today. We're just discussing books today. Hang on. First I need to update my
Yeehaw.
outfit.
I'm having
Oh,
a work drama and I'm feeling
hello.
too autistic to be getting tested.
I know. Well, here's the problem. So, when we forget to turn our computer off, it does this like flashy thing because we have like a little like see-through computer, and so some like it like is like it has lights in it. Does that make sense? So if we forget to turn it off and then Hannah goes to sleep and it flashes, it looks like someone took a picture of her. Like the that's how it looks. That's how it looks to her. Sorry, I'm updating my fit check. Standard. If I could spell, that'd be great. Um. So, anyway, now she also hates how cold it is, and we have this air conditioner on top of like we have air conditioning in the house. Um. And so it's like 66 degrees in our room when we go to sleep. Oh my so god, Kay, you're being so brave. Um, is this their website? Yes. To Mr. Okay. It's really cute. So when we have I don't know what day we're gonna do this, but eventually, when we have like a readathon on stream, then we'll sit back here and read. And then like every hour for 15 minutes, we'll like come chat or
Yeehaw.
yeah. I'm excited. I did start my period yesterday. So my attitude, bad. Horrible news for my attitude. So I was very brave and I ordered Starbucks. I also have been in like my really fancy latte era at Starbucks, and it's on DoorDash. So at Starbucks, it's like an $11 coffee. That's a lot. It's very spicy and it's a special treat. Because my normal coffee that I get at Dutch Bros, not $11. It's like $7.50, which is still a lot for a coffee. But anyway, and on DoorDash it's $16 because DoorDash like adds money to things. So it's a huge treat. A very big treat. I also bought all of Phoebe's birthday presents yesterday. I bought 4. I think they'll all be here on time. One of them may not. But I cut out my hand in solidarity because I support women. You do. Okay, everyone who wasn't here when we made this overlay, I'm about to show you all the screens. Are you ready? So this was starting soon. If you didn't see it, I'll go back really fast. Nice. This is our discussion screen. This is where we'll be for most of it. And then I'll be like announcing really loudly when we're switching between books. And then once we leave a book, we're leaving it. We can't go back. Because like I know some people are like avoiding spoilers. Also, in case it wasn't obvious, I'm leading the discussion. So we're only talking about books I've read. You know, so, and then also when we're switching between books, I have a switching between books screen. So you should be able to still hear me, but you won't be able to see me. And I'll be like, okay, we're switching between books. You know, and I'll type in here what we're talking about next. Then this is our screen sharing screen. So you can see, I don't know, in case I need to show you something. You never know. I might need to. I wouldn't say hard line. I read a lot of horror. My plan is just to bring up the does the dog die each time and put that in like a pinned, what's it called? Comment, I guess? Chat? Maybe we need to see a fun cover. Okay, this is BRB. I haven't put the books on it yet. I'm going to do that in a second. And then this is the goodbye. Isn't it cute? Hello, welcome. I love all of them. I love all of them so much. We did a great job. Here's the problem with Storygraph. I feel like it's over. Oh, yeah. It lets you on the screen. I don't know why I'm explaining it to you. You already know. But it's super easy for me to do it. I feel like if you... I don't know. I feel like Does the Dog Die is like standard.
You're so true, bestie.
You know what I mean? I am... Also, if you haven't been here before, while I do use Does the Dog Die... While I do use Storygraph, and I love the graph aspect of Storygraph, I personally otherwise like the look of Goodreads and find it easier to use. So I'm going off of my... Oh, I'm with you, Seven. Thank you. I'm going off of my, like, Goodreads read list. So if you happen to see my screen, that's the one I'm looking at. There's not a reading list. You can look at my Goodreads if you want to also see what I've read. Hang on. This also has my Storygraph link if you're a Storygraph girly. Okay. What did I say on the BRB screen? Hold on. Okay, the last book I read... What was the last book I read? Oh, Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. Perfect. Books. Oh, here, that's not what I want. What I want is images. Can I just save image? Nice. Okay, and I will be saving it in pictures. And I'm just gonna name it Things Worse. uh, I'm so happy. Oh, that's true. I could do DTDD. I could do that. Actually, I guess I should keep it with exclamation point content warning, and I can just keep updating it every. I mean, I'm still gonna pin it. Okay, and then my current read is The Only Good Indians. Nice. Hello, welcome. My love! My love! Is that you? I'm so happy you're here. And then the next one I'm reading is Page Boy. I'm so happy. Gabrielle and I went to college together and we're best friends. Oh my soul, God, please just let me have a copy of the cover of the book, please. Oh my soul, God. Oh, save as. Yeah, sure, that's fine. Save as picture. Okay. She's so brave. I finally got here when you're online. Hello. Okay, I'm gonna upload. I'm an old person now, in case you didn't know. Here I am, and I'm old. New folder. Book covers. Beautiful. Amazing. Stunning. Where's my other one? Oh my so god, it doesn't want me to have it. It's so hard to just get a freaking cover page around here. Save image as. Yes, save it. That's fine. Save it however you want. Book covers. Perfect. In the last hour of Fourth Wing and I have thoughts. Nice. I'm proud of you. Leaving for a week with no warning. Hello. Good luck, Penles. I can't believe they'll just let you work at the factory like that. Okay, I'm going to the BRB screen. I'll just go and I'll add my voice. Okay. I've temporarily added, you know, my voice. And I speak really good. Thank you for asking. And then being nothing but sex for the last quarter. Hey. Who's complaining? Who around here would complain about that? Perfect. Here's our first one. And she looks beautiful. And she is virtuous. Hello, my friend. Discord is it's a command that only, oh my god, what's the word? Mods can do. I can't speak. I can't talk very good. Because we like for folks to, like, be around for a little bit. You know, get the vibes. Before, oh my god. Dad just ran into my DoorDash man. And now they both hate me, I can tell. I'm so good at talking. It's because I am worried about the DoorDash man. And then I'm also trying to add in books. You know? There's a lot going on. Okay, hang on. It's a real BRB while I go grab my coffee. Hello? I'm so sorry. I didn't know he was going to run into you. Who's this man? Thank you. Hey, he did a good job, I bet. Where's Susie? Oh, they must be in the girl bed. That makes sense. Okay, I'm back. I'm coming. Don't you worry, children. Okay, I'm here. Not so binary art. We can absolutely discuss it today. Okay, sorry my thing's so loud. They gave me this. Hold on, I'll come back. Oh, wrong button. They gave me a little pumpkin to tell me that pumpkin spice is coming back. That's really cute. That's so cute. Okay, hang on. I'm going back to editing my BRB screen. Okay. Last one. I also forgot the benefit of us moving. Oh my god, it's going to be ugly. Okay, hang on. I mean, not ugly, because he's beautiful. He's very handsome, but that's not what I wanted. I wanted just this part. Nice. Beautiful. Stunning. Amazing. Okay, I'm taking my voice off of BRB so I don't accidentally scare anyone. I'm absolutely a pumpkin spice latte girly. No shame. It's 2023. You know? Women are actually just allowed to enjoy things now. It's delicious. They did know. They saw my incredibly complicated, annoying order, and they said, she's gonna want to know this. Oh my god. A lot of problems with Starbucks. Best thing about them, though, is their little drink cover things when you order DoorDash for them. Which, again, we only do not often. Please don't think that I'm the kind of person who normally pays fucking $16 for them to deliver me a latte. They have the best little, like, drink cover things. When you order fast food, I don't know why, they put, like, a regular sticker on top of it. And so then it's super hard to peel off. And you just have to punch your straw through sticker. Starbucks, they have, like, specific, they're, like, hard and they're easy to peel off. Okay. Perfect, that's what I wanted. I am going to put on some makeup really fast. Because, again, I'm on a period and I'm grumpy. Starbucks for sure has coffee scientists studying. I think you're right. I think you're onto something. And you better be quiet about it because Starbucks will come after you. Yeah, I would say trial and error. I mean, you can ask baristas if you know, like, what vibe you're going for. They are, like, good at their job. It's why they deserve to get paid more. Okay, no one look at me too closely. It depends. I definitely get in, like, adventurous moods. With my spicy orders. Boo. Not our closest Starbucks, but our second closest one just voted to unionize. When they made that potion of shit your pants coffee, it was me. Oh, this is what I got today. Is everyone ready? I got a venti ice blonde vanilla latte. What does this mean? Okay, I don't know what the words mean, but on top I got the cinnamon cold foam, cinnamon sweet cold foam. I made it with oat milk, blonde espresso with ristretto shots, 4 pumps vanilla, 4 pumps brown sugar cinnamon, 3 pumps of chai. And it's so cozy. I bought myself a beautiful jigsaw puzzle. My little one is that I ordered fun coffee. 100%. Okay, so I definitely got the sweet cream cinnamon cold foam. But what this says is EX cinnamon CF. What's the EX? It's not extra. It's not like it already had that and then I got extra. It had none and I got some. So what could the EX be? No, we haven't started yet. I'm putting on a little makeup and then we're getting started. Extra everything. Okay, cute. It is extra. Extra edition? That's true, maybe. They clicked extra for some reason. It's in the same line, though. Maybe. I mean,
Yeehaw.
I don't know. I don't pretend to know the inner workings of the Starbucks lingo. Thank you. We worked hard on this overlay last week, and now we get to put it to use. And I'm very excited. I also really wanted to cancel today because I was so sleepy because I'm on my period, and I didn't. So I'm also very brave for doing my job, for coming to work today, which I love. That sounded sarcastic, but I meant it. I do love my job. I was just very sleepy. Oh, that's true, maybe. You brave little toaster. Thank you. I also cleaned almost our entire house yesterday. I'm going to finish it today so we can finish up our guest room makeover YouTube video. We're trying to be mostly YouTubers, I think. I think that's where we're trying to head. That's where the most consistent money is. Right now on Twitch, here we go. It's a content creator money breakdown, everyone. Get ready. Right now on Twitch, we stay at right about like between 250 and like 270 subscribers. So like right now I have 268. Which brings in like typically, I know, that's because we have a guest room now. Which brings in typically, I don't know, less than $1,000 from Twitch, but not by a ton. I think it's like $700 a month we get from Twitch if we didn't do like a subathon or something that month. Then from Patreon right now, we get, I can tell you, which we don't post super often on Patreon. Like, if anyone ever wants to leave from there, that makes total sense, because we post, like, once a month on there. And it's usually just, like, oh my god, don't sync to Spotify. It's usually just, like, one random thing that we had. Right now we get about $800 from Patreon a month. I'm happy with Patreon as a thing I just pay for every month that I do not look like. It's okay. Oh, it's just a little, it's like little points you get just for watching. They don't cost anything. My name is Morgan and my pronouns are she, her. If you'd like to share your name and your pronouns in the chat, you can, but also you don't have to if you don't want to. What's really funny is when we started doing Twitch, we also knew nothing about it. And still to this day, we've been doing Twitch consistently for like a year and some change. And all the time I learn things about it. If you've never watched, everyone who's here, if you've never watched Tyler Oakley's streams, they're incredible, and he's a sweetheart. He is probably like the friend that I watch the most. I don't know, Red. The reason I really like it is because, like, when we do have, like, news, when we do have, like, things that we can't tell everyone, we do usually post about it on Patreon. So, like, nothing we've signed, like, an NDA on or anything. But, like, when we first were, like, you know, Morgan's thinking about quitting her job. Blech. We posted about it on Patreon, like, way before anyone else knew. And, like, it's nice to have a space because it's our close friends. So it's nice to have, like, when you become a patron, you get to be on our close friend story on Couple of Goofs. And it's super nice to have that space. Because it's, like, where I would say, yeah, it's where we're sassy. It's also where we post, like, not drama, but, like, it's a lot of screenshots of people's snotty comments on TikTok and us being like, why are people like this? Spill a little more tea than usual. Thank you, Rachel. Yeah, I think that's the thing is, like, anytime we post anything on Patreon, that's kind of what we say is we're like, no hate to anyone who wants to leave this platform because we clearly don't post anything on it. But I think that's how a lot of people think about it is it's like a place to essentially just tip us monthly. Which, like, is how we make, like, a lot of our content is free. So, like, you don't have to pay to watch us on YouTube. You don't have to pay to watch on Twitch if you don't want to. I choose the bottom of the cup to do my lipstick on. He unleashes the bro, please bro attitude a little bit more. Yeah. It's the splash zone. Oh my god, yes. When we stayed in the horrible hotel. When we had the horrible hotel experience, all of the patrons knew about it immediately. Yes, exactly, Reb. We also, like, I only go through and, like, remove close friends. I've only done it, like, twice. With, like, cross-looking at Patreon. So, like, usually if you've ever been a Patreon, you get to stay on the close friend story for a super long time because it's a lot of effort for me to go through and remove people. Pinless, I can't believe you're not on Instagram. Will they not let you get on Instagram at the factory? Yeah, it's only $1 a month is the lowest tier. And then we have a $5 a month tier, which, like, we send them mail once a year. Like, there's really no difference. And it's because, like, I don't ever want any of our content really to be, like, you have to pay money to see it. And it's, like, if you do, it's a lot. So Patreon, like, there's $1 tier. You can pay $1 a month and get on our close friend story. And there's really no difference between the $1 and $5, except we send Christmas cards to the $5 ones. My little soot-covered hands can't do the sign up. I am so excited. Let me go through and pick what I want to talk about. I'm going to pick 4 to start with, and we'll vote. Because it's not necessarily just going to be the ones I just read. Okay, what should we discuss first? I am going to do 11/22/63. I know it's Stephen King, and I'm sorry, but I actually have a lot of thoughts. This is How You Lose the Time War. I think would be also a good one to talk about today. We can do, I know someone said they just read Book Lovers. I'm going to add Book Lovers. I'm also going to add Things Have Gotten Worse since I just finished it. And I'm not going to do Fourth Wing. I'm not going to talk about Fourth Wing probably until the second book comes out. But I need everyone to know that I desperately want to. What else? Actually, I'm also going to do the Bird Box book, because I think a lot of people have seen the movie, but wouldn't be sad if I talked about the book. I haven't read Midnight Library. Illyria, nonfiction does a lot of things. I loved Hidden Pictures. We can definitely talk about Hidden Pictures today. It's from last year. I don't think anyone should ever feel bad about reading whatever they want to read. I don't know why other people try to make people feel bad about it. If you only read YA, you're still reading. If you only listen to audiobooks, you're still reading. One thing about me is I will only consume media that has gay people and giant robots. I love it here. Also, if you haven't read these books and you're not interested in reading them, please stick around because I'm going to read a synopsis. I think I'm going to start Throne of Glass after I finish our summer reading challenge. Maybe. I don't know. I have no idea, Trash Pan. I'm so sorry. Right now, my medicine's working, so my uterus doesn't hurt. So I'm feeling good. Me brought up book lovers, also me voting against it. That's so fair. Also, if you're loving it, I don't know if you want to hear what I have to say about it. Phoebe's supposed to go to the P.O. box today. And Kay, I think, sent me. I'm glad my mom died so I can have a copy of it. If they didn't send it yet, though, that's also fine. But I'm so excited to have it on my shelf. It was so good. I'm definitely going to reread it and then highlight things to talk to my therapist about. It's so good. I saw it was 3 stars in your story graph and I chose to ignore that. That's fine. I haven't read Red, White, and Royal Blue yet. It is on my list. I do already own it. I bought it at a thrift store. Time War is winning. I'm actually really glad. Because I have some thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts on it. Hey, fun fact. Don't. No, Page Boy's my next read. Speaking of which, if you haven't seen our summer reading challenge, hold on. Here it is. Ba-ba-da-da-ba-da-pow. Time War and Book Lovers are tied. We can start with those two. We have a summer reading challenge. It goes from solstice to solstice, so this is actually not done until September 23rd. And you can include anything you've read since June 21st. I don't know if there's been any blackouts. I am doing myself a disservice and I haven't checked any of the responses. So, Penless, I saw, not your tweets, but I've seen people talking about that. I mean, Gabrielle, you only need $5 to get a bingo, and there's still a bingo winner. I think regular bingo's getting $25. Yeah. To whatever bookstore they want. And then a blackout winner, there's a chance to win $50, and there's also a chance to win $100 to Free Label, because they literally messaged us and they said, "We love that you're doing a summer reading challenge. Can we give you a prize to give away?" And we said, "Yeah, I love that." I can tell you how many responses we got. Let me look. Let's see. I would love to tell you. Give me but a moment to figure out how the fuck I get there. Forms. Here we go. Let's see. Book challenge. We have 45 responses right now.
Yeehaw.
That's crazy. $45 responses. Kai has sent in 3. Oakley has sent in 3. And Theo has sent in 3. Almost everyone else has only sent in one. And of the 45 responses, only one blackout bingo has been sent in. That makes sense. I'm so glad funny side character. That was the whole point, is like for people to have fun. Phoebe's definitely not going to finish it. I probably will black it out, but I made it, so. $25 is a lot of books to read in a few months. Yes. That person must read 24/7. Good for them. Oh, we're really good online friends with Elena and, oh shoot. Like, Cute Little Book Room is their Instagram name. Hang on, I'll pull them up. And they have like a bookstagram that the two of them share. Where's Instagram? Oh, maybe I don't have a thing for it. But Room 334, who you might know on TikTok, who does a lot of like cute outfit content, and then she made a second book one because she reads. She just finished 200 books for the year, and it is, in case you didn't know, August. I think we will do another challenge. I think what I'm gonna do next, I think we'll basically just keep doing it. I don't know. I think we might do on off. So we might do like nothing for fall and then do a winter one. Oh my, so good. I can't spell. This is their Instagram. This is what the logo looks like. But it's just them like talking about what books they're reading. And then this is Elena, who I'm obsessed with. And this is her Instagram. Hold on. Look at her. She's so cute. A book advent calendar. It would be a summer reading challenge for the Southern Hemisphere. You're so right. The first one, Caitlin, if you like the first one that much, you're in for a treat. I also think it's important to note, if you read 2 books this year, I'm proud of you. Because most people our age read 0. Because it's hard to get back into reading. So don't feel discouraged because somebody else read 200. Other people have different lives where they don't have children or don't have jobs that are really demanding or don't have... And that none of you are better or worse than one another. Any reading is good reading. If you only read fan fiction, guess what? You're still reading. Good for your brain. I know you may be thinking, not the fan fiction I read. It rots my brain. I disagree. And on my platform, vote for me for president. All reading is good reading. The average is like 8 a year for an adult human. So if you read more than that, you're reading more than most. Okay, we have an ad going right now. We'll start talking when the ad ends. I'll go ahead and add this in. Text. Oh, this is not what I want. Perfect. Okay. This is beautiful and the perfect size. Thank God. Don't worry, I'm not going to get it. It's not going to stay white. I am going to change the color of it. Nobody be scared. Okay. First, let's pick a new color. Probably just... How's that? What's that look like? Okay, it literally just looks black. That's fine. A mosquito trying to steal your blood? Okay, I've got the weird burps. Why are my burps so weird? Okay, I want like a cute font, and I wish I could fucking see it. Oh, here we go. What's that look like? Hello? Oh my god. Okay, no one told me it looks so stupid. What's happening? Graphic novels? Great, valid. I don't know what's going on with my weird little burps. I'm sorry that they're so scary. How's that? What does that look like? I think that looks normal. I don't know why it looks so pixely though. How do I make it not like that? Why are you so pixely? Should I just stick to Arial? Why is it so pixely? Okay, I'm deleting it and starting over. Actually, first I'm going to copy and paste this so I don't have to type it again. Change the font size rather than making it bigger. The font size is... Where's the font size? It said I'm going to be really blurry. Font, select font? Is that where I change the size? Oh my so god. Okay, now it's too small. I'm like freaking Goldilocks over here. Alright. It's still kind of ugly. I'm making a different font. I'm sorry. That seems cute. It's not quite perfect, but, you know, it'll have to do. Now, what I can do is come on Canva and pick the same green. Because that's who I am as a person. Oh, yeah. Okay, 37716C. How do I type it in? I don't think so. 37716C. Oh, it's because that would be why. No? Wait, it is right. Cancel. It is right. It just looked weird. Hello, I'm sorry. What was your question, Arrow? Do plays count for the reading challenge? Yeah, I would say so. Why wouldn't they? I think the only thing that, like, doesn't count, and again, I would like to reiterate, I'm not checking. This is on the honor system. I would say the only thing that doesn't count that people asked is, like, do zines count? And that's because you can read a zine in, like, 5 minutes. And I'm looking for at least, like, 30 minutes. I feel like reading a play should count, but I'm not in charge. No, yeah, plays are quick. Well, that's the whole thing. You go see it, and it's less than 2 hours, so... Yeah. If it fits the box, then yeah. I will, in fact, add Eurydice. Okay, perfect. Currently discussing. Beautiful. Do I need to add anything else? Okay. Is everyone ready? I don't know if Kindle has plays. I'm ready to talk about This Is How You Lose the Time War. Let me pull up the synopsis that it gives on Goodreads. Is everyone ready? Oh, let me pin it also. Currently discussing I'm going to put spoilers in all caps first. This one I don't think we need any content warnings for. Perfect. Okay. This is the synopsis for This Is How You Lose the Time War. Among the ashes of a dying world, an agent of the commandment finds a letter. It reads, "Burn before reading." Someone did, Bard, and I will figure out how we get to it in just a second.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, XOXO.
Thus begins an unlikely correspondence between two rival agents hell-bent on securing the best possible future for their warring factions. Now, what began as a taunt, a battlefield boast, becomes something more, something epic, something romantic, something that could change the past and the future. Except the discovery of their bond would mean the death of each of them. There's still a war going on after all, and someone has to win. That's how war works, right? Co-written by two beloved and award-winning sci-fi writers, This Is How You Lose the Time War is an epic love story spanning time and space. Here's the thing, and I'm sorry if you love this book. I apologize that it wasn't for me, but I gave it 2 stars. I gave it 2 stars, and I'm happy for everyone who loved it. So first of all, my first complaint, it's less than 200 pages. And I was like, oh, okay, so it must be really fast paced and like very little like fluff. Wrong. I feel like it's all fluff. I feel like none of my questions got answered. You never find out why this war is happening. You don't know anything about it. They don't talk about how they can suddenly time travel. They don't talk about how these two people came to exist, really. You don't even learn the names of the 2 main characters are just red and blue. I don't even know if they're human or used to be human. Or someone made it for the reading challenges. Go to this section and browse, search for a couple of goofs. Thank you. I read the first chapter, got confused, and abandoned it. They really just want you to go with it. Yes. And again, I'm so happy for the people who got sucked in. I'm so happy for the people who liked it. Me? It's not for me. I hate unanswered questions. And don't get me wrong, I feel like I don't mind if there's like 1 or 2, you know? You can't get every question answered, because there may be a question I'm the only one who noticed or thought of it. I have no idea why they're at war. I have no idea who any of their daddies are. I have no idea about anything in this world. I struggle when worlds don't explain why the world is the way it is. Yes. I thought the premise was interesting. I listened to the audiobook and had to rewind so many times. What I loved about it was basically long-form poetry. I think that's why I hated it. One thing about me, if you didn't know this about me, the reason I don't normally get into poetry, and I'm sorry to Kay if Kay's still listening, but like I'm not looking for metaphors. You guys know when you take like an English class or a reading class in high school, and I know this is like the example everyone gives, but it's like your teacher will be like, "How do you feel, Johnny?" And Johnny will be like, "I feel like the reason that the curtains are blue in the bedroom is because like it's really supposed to represent, you know, Kyle's depression and how like he really feels like he can't escape this world even in like his most beautiful dream bedroom." And I'll be like, "Or it means nothing. I would like to know more about, you know, Kyle's thoughts and not his maybe imaginary thoughts based on the curtains." I loved it, but I also have an English lit degree. I am not a metaphor girly. It's the reason I haven't really gotten into poetry is because like I feel like all of them are, I'm not smart enough. And I'm not saying that to be a bitch to myself, nor am I saying that people who read poetry are like hoity-toity or whatever, but it's not for me. I would like a story with a beginning, middle, end. It's also why I don't like the Wes Anderson movies that much. Because I don't know if you know this, I'm gonna give you a synopsis of a Wes Anderson movie. You know how like if you don't know anything about him, you're like, I've never seen his movies, but they look beautiful. Don't worry, that's it. To me, that's it. Phoebe's favorite movie is like the Darjeeling Unlimited. I think that's the name of it. And it's three brothers on a train. And I was like, oh, where's the train going? Don't fucking know. You never find out, I don't think. They're on the train the whole movie. And I was like, oh, maybe it's like Speed. They're on the bus kind of the whole time. There's like something wrong with the bus. There's wrong with the train. They can't stop, so they never get to their destination. No, it's just a normal train ride. The whole movie is the three brothers just having a discussion. And I was like, is this a play where they couldn't hire any more actors? What do you mean? Do you like Speed better? Yes. Phoebe loves Moonrise Kingdom. The best Wes Anderson movie that I have seen is Fantastic Mr. Fox. And I would say it's because it's for children, so it has a classic beginning, middle, end plot. But as I've said before, he doesn't hire fat people. He won't. He hates it. He won't do it. And he also barely hires people of color. So, I'm not really Wes's biggest fan. They are beautiful. They're beautiful movies. But I would say this book was very similar to that. Some movies feel like pranks. And you're right, and you should say it. Yeah, I didn't really care for this book. I bought it from Sunny's house, so I'm glad they got my $14 or whatever I paid. I like the cover. I don't think I'll ever reread it. I'll probably keep the book because we're building a library, and I do think it's like a really pretty book. I also think it's short. I think it'd be a great one if you're still in school. I think it'd probably be a great one to do like a book report on. Like if you need a book to discuss, then yeah, it's probably a great book. But that's not what I'm looking for as an adult. I'm not looking for like you go to the back of the book and there's like discussion questions. And they're like, what do you think it means? I have no idea. I had no idea what the two characters were fighting for. I also hate when a book, this is the other reason I thought I didn't like fantasy for a long time. I hate when a book just like tells you a term that's like clearly from the world and you're just supposed to like infer what it means. So like in this book, because they're time traveling, they say like, I think it's called like thread or maybe it's string. It's something like that. And what they mean is like a different timeline, essentially. Up thread and down thread. Yes. Do I look like a bird scientist? We were, Kay. I was talking shit. And I'm so sorry. Up thread, down thread? Who? What? What do you mean? Up thread and down thread. I kept forgetting what was future and what was past. It's because there's birds on the cover. Sorry. Fantasy and sci-fi is basically all metaphor, to be fair. Not to me. What do you mean? Not to me. Watch Game of Thrones. Tell me there's any metaphors. There's not. Don't you even try to say that there are. Because there's no metaphors. They are hard. The problem is, Kay, I don't want to feel like I'm learning when I'm reading. I don't want to feel like I am not smart enough to understand what's happening. My spouse said I thought I hated poems and then I started reading good poems. I feel like sci-fi I can get behind why it's like a metaphor. Not metaphor, I guess, but like, sci-fi is clearly supposed to teach you something, I think, a lot of the time. Right? So it'll be like if, like Dark Matter, which was one of my favorite books I read last year, is clearly, I think, supposed to be about like the ethics of time traveling, or like the ethics of like who are you. I won't talk too much about it, I guess, because I don't want to give spoilers for a book we're not currently discussing, but like it was really good. It's so good. Maybe I'll reread Dark Matter. It was really good. Hate when the plot / rules of the universe end up being cheeky inside joke you never got to be in on. Sometimes when I'm reading poems, I'm like, damn, okay, I'm stupid. Yes. I don't want to feel stupid. I don't want to feel like you guys, I don't want to feel like the authors have some, like, thank you, some joke that I'm not in on. Some world that I'm not in on. I think, honestly, if this book had, like, just, like, half of my questions answered, maybe I wouldn't dislike it as much as I did. But yeah, I gave it 2 stars. Does anyone have anything else to add before we switch to a new book? Because I'm going to switch to Book Lovers, I think. Dark Matter was my only DNF of last year. That's fair. If it's not for you, that's fair. It's the first sci-fi book I've ever really liked. I really think in order to like poems, you have to be introduced to the right ones at an early age with a kind teacher. I think you're right. I think it's because, at least for me, I feel like a lot of my teachers... Does otherworldly include fantasy, not just space? Yeah, I would say so. I take otherworldly when I made it to mean just, like, it's not a book set in, like, our current world. So I think even if it was, like, sci-fi, but, like I think This Is How You Lose the Time War could be otherworldly. I love writing poems, but reading them, no thanks. I feel like too many teachers, not that the teachers are bad or not that I'm talking shit about teachers, but I think like it's hard to teach kids about poems when the ones that you're like supposed to teach in class are all like metaphor about thing kid either doesn't understand or doesn't care about. Or it'll be like, write a haiku. And then as a kid, you're like, this is a fun little game. Which is fun. I love to write a little haiku in the 3rd grade. But then I was like, I don't remember anything else I learned about poems besides that. Time War's marked as sci-fi, yeah. Listen, I believe you, Kay. They'd be gay. If I had let the soft animal of your body love what it loves in high school, I would have been the worst Girly. There was an interview, they asked me my favorite poet. I had nothing. You should say yourself. You should also just make someone up. One thing about me, if you don't know this, I advocate for lying in a tough situation. And I don't mean like don't take responsibility for your actions. That's completely different, okay? You should take responsibility for your actions. You shouldn't lie to like your friends about the things that happened. Or I'm talking about lying to strangers. When someone said, who's your favorite poet? Just say a name. What are they going to do? Not Google it, I'll tell you that. They'll be like, oh my God, I haven't heard of them. And you'll be like, you haven't heard of them? Oh my God, they're so good. They wrote this one about how like summer is seriously taken way too harsh. And how it's similar to the Loch Ness Monster in that way. And people will be like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Just lie to strangers. Leo, I'm so proud of you. They're into you, wouldn't know them. Everyone should just say me. Y'all know me. I do that all the time. For the Powell's thing, where it said a favorite author's favorite, I picked a boy whose books I've never read, but I love his recommendations on TikTok. He's an author. He's a favorite creator of mine who happens to be an author, but if they Google it in front of you, they're not, doesn't matter. Run away. What kind of person would do that? I'm proud of you, Gemini. This is the fear. Hey, I'm your mother. If someone Googles something right in front of you, run. That's something you only do with friends. You do not do that with strangers. Get out of here. They were interested. I play video games, but they were clearly disdainful when I didn't play the games they like. Okay, push them down the stairs. Then what are they gonna do? Nothing. I've had half my Starbucks and now I'm feeling frisky. Number 1, lie to strangers. Number 2, if they try to question you, run away. I only recently learned I can lie about anything at all ever. This is a big jump. Did you guys see that thing? Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up. My friend Will posted this thing on his story. Fuck. I hope it's still there. Yes. So it's a screenshot of a text conversation. It's not his conversation, to be clear. This is like a meme someone made. Person A, dude, how do you stay so cool on time on set? Second person, because I don't get into arguments with stupid crew or ADs. I just cut it short and say, you are right. Person A, but that's just wrong. What if the crew's being irrational? Wait, but that's just wrong if the crew is being irrational. Person B, you are right. That's me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Is it a trauma response? Yes. I don't care. If anyone wants to argue with me, I would say 99% of the time, besides my husband, who I obviously I want to know their side of the story and why they're thinking the way they are and get past something. But anyone else, I'll be like, yeah, you're right. That's crazy. And I'll leave and I'll go, idiot. What does it matter, though? It doesn't matter. Someone online having a horrible take, not my problem. I will simply scroll and move on and know that I was right. And if there is a God, when I die, she will be like, and you were right. And I'll be like, I know. That's enough for me. My trauma means I cannot admit defeat or be wrong, and I have to have them think they are right. Or have to have them think they are right. It's not worth the conversation. It's something I learned because when you have parents who don't love you and don't care to get to know you as a person, it's not worth arguing with them. I actually don't care about their opinion on the political climate or COVID. I don't care. I don't spend time with them. I don't spend time with people who spend time with them. So it's not for me. I go, okay. Sure. See you later. I don't care. Leo. I'm so glad you brought this up, bestie, because that's literally me. If you do not care about that person's opinion, you should not care about any of the opinions of the people they talk to, really. I'm sure it's all true. Once I realized that my mom can talk shit about me to whoever she wants. Because the people she talks to, I don't care about their opinions either. The few people she talks to that I do care about their opinions, they know that I'm not the one with the problem here. And they already know that. This is me with my dad. You know? I just go, okay, see you later. Listen, and it's a place of privilege. Because not everyone can just block their parents and move on with their lives, but... Anyways. Okay, now we're going to talk about book lovers, because that was the other one people wanted to talk about. Okay, I can't type. It is bonkers that we were all raised by the same people. I can't believe it. Look at that. Nice. So true, bestie. Okay, how do I unpin this? Nice. Okay. Spoilers. Currently discussing. If I could type. This one also, I don't think there's any content warnings for. It's like a normal romance. Okay. Up next for discussion. I am switching books. We are switching. I have to add the text in. Oh, must. So bad. Go back. No. Talking about book lovers next. We're switching to book lovers. Goodbye, Gabrielle. I love you. Today is not the day, and I am not the one. Not gonna spoiler myself or accept any bad criticism. So fair. Aaron, literally. I am not saying that you should agree with them having bad takes. I am saying say what you gotta say to get out. All right. Are we ready? Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Let me pull it up on my Goodreads so I can read you the synopses. I gave it 3 stars. All right. Ready? I'm going to read the synopsis. That's 2 first names. It is. Nora Stevens' life is books. She reads them all, and she is not that type of heroine. Not the plucky one, not the laid-back dream girl, and especially not the sweetheart. In fact, the only people Nora is a heroine for are her clients, for whom she lands enormous deals as a cutthroat literary agent and her beloved little sister, Libby. Which is why she agrees to go to Sunshine Falls, North Carolina for the month of August when Libby begs her for a sister's trip away with visions of small-town transformation for Nora, who she's convinced needs to become the heroine of her own story. But instead of picnics in meadows, or run-ins with handsome country doctor or bulging forearm bartender, Nora keeps bumping into Charlie Lastra, a bookish, brooding editor from back in the city. It would be a meet cute if not for the fact that they've met many times and it's never been cute. If Nora knows she's not the ideal heroine, Charlie knows he's nobody's hero. But as they are thrown together again and again in a series of coincidences no editor worth their salt would allow, what they discover might just unravel the carefully crafted stories they've written about themselves. If you're an Emily Henry stan, I'm so happy for you. I am happy for you. I wanted to like this so bad. I didn't hate it. One thing I will say about this book, I'll start with the positives. I knew exactly where it was going. There were no surprises. So if you're like in a place where you don't want, like you just want like comfort, this would probably be a good read for you. It was extremely predictable. So like another thing. The synopsis, this is like what's on the back of the book to try to get you to read it. It actually just tells you the whole story. There's nothing else. Don't think that there is. And the banter between the 2 main characters is incredible. It's amazing. It's not very spicy. There's like a making out scene that I really remember where like he pushes her against like the wall. I would say that's it. Yeah. So, first of all, I am finding it confusing that the synopsis and also the premise of the book is like, this girly would never be in a Hallmark movie. And, like, that's what it is? Is this the same lady who wrote Raylo fanfiction where they're scientists? Is that true? I have no idea. It did make me want to be a book editor a little bit. So, like, I do think that she talks about her job in a fun way. Talks about the main character's job in a fun way. I've never had any interest in being a book editor. But I was like, maybe I could do that. It's definitely the same vibes, the same type of covers. Everyone in the book is white, I'm fairly certain. Granted, they don't specifically say that, so maybe not. But, like, I feel like that's also relevant to, like, me reading it being like, Hallmark movie for girls who aren't like other girls. So true, bestie. The pick-me energy from the main character is absolutely cuckoo bananas off the charts. Yeah. Yeah, so I gave it 3 stars. Mostly because I know so many people really like it. And I was like, it was funny. I did laugh out loud at, like, the banter between the 2 main characters for sure. Which was something. But, like, my biggest complaint is I feel like the synopsis makes it seem like they're going to be, like, enemies to lovers. And you would think, right? What I need you to know, quite literally, Charlie, the main boy, and Nora is the main girl, they meet once. They have an uncomfortable lunch where Nora's like, I really think that you should give this book a chance. And he's like, no, I think it's stupid. That's it. They are not enemies. They're not enemies. They had one uncomfortable lunch where he didn't want to pick up her author's book. And then they run into each other again in this random town. And I was like, okay, so again, they're not enemies. They're also not really... White people drama one uncomfortable lunch. They're also not really coworkers because she's a book... What do they call her? She's not a book editor. She's like a literary agent or something. She represents authors and she goes to the publishers and says, like, you want my author's book. I know you do. She's like a manager for an actor, except the actor is actually an author. Also, like, maybe everyone who disagrees with me one time is my enemy. Literally. I was like, this isn't your enemy. Why do you hate him so much? Does nobody ever turn down your books ever? Because maybe you should be knocked down a peg. People are going to reject you sometimes, Nora. Why is this man your enemy? The other, like, problem with the man is that he just seems to be, like, boring. Okay, also, like, not a crime, you know? When we pass each other's books, it's not drama. We know what our houses will go for. Yeah. Man is enemy because man. Also, like, her sister, Libby, is pregnant. And I felt like Nora was either really annoyed by her or maybe, like, she's just supposed to kind of be annoying. I felt like Libby was, like... It was definitely more light rivals to lovers than enemies. And I feel like there's... if it's no enemies, if there's blood. This bitch needs to chill out. Yeah. And, like, it was an uncomfortable lunch. But it wasn't, like, I wouldn't have left crying. Showing up to his tent covered in blood and him saying, who hurt you, or else I don't like it. Literally. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, it fell short for me. I felt like it just literally was a Hallmark movie. There was nothing about it that was any different, except the main girl was like a pick-me instead of just like a classic girl. But it was quite literally Girly who lives in the city, has a big job, comes to the small town, falls in love with man from small town. Now, the man from the small town is also from the big city. He's just visiting his parents who live in this small town. Visiting his parents who happen to live in the small town. Yeah, and then they fall in love. And I think they end up in the small town at the end. Maybe not. They might go back to the city. I don't remember. It was forgettable. And I felt like it fell flat. Does anyone have anything else to say about it? Let's do one that I really liked next. I feel bad that my first two were me being like, it wasn't that good. I did not predict how much I wouldn't be rooting for the main characters. So true. Sometimes books be mid. Let's Do Things Have Gotten Worse. I gave it 4 stars. And that's their right. I don't have any. I don't read romance. That's the other reason I didn't like it. I hate low stakes. If you didn't know that. I'm not interested in predictable queer romance either. So like while I am currently reading the Heartstopper books, it's mostly because I think they're like really cute. I think the illustrations are really cute. And I want to watch the show, so I want to read the books first. But like I am bored the whole time. Because I'm like, right. It's just romance though. There's not anything. And maybe I'll be wrong. I haven't read the second or third one yet. Books with a main character who isn't super likable is either super interesting and good, or they make a book unreadable. So true. So true, and you're right. Okay. We're going to switch to... Oh my god, it's such a long title. That's not even... It's technically longer because it's a short stories one. So it also has... Okay. Let me unpin this one. After college, I love low stakes. Please just make them kiss and be happy. I'm happy for you. See, that's why reading is nice, though. Because there's a book out there for everyone. Okay. Spoilers. I'm going to set this up and then I'm going to go to the bathroom while the thing sits there. And here is the Does the Dog Die for Content Warnings. Pin. Oh, perfect. And then... Perfect. Okay, I'm putting on BRB and then I'll go to the Switching Books one. All right, we're switching books. Good. It looks really good. That's fine. I think that's fine. Hooey. My uterus hurts. I just took more medicine. All right. We're back. Let me fix this now that I made it cuckoo bananas. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. This is the content warnings. The biggest one I would say is I am going to talk about animal death for sure. I am going to talk about some religious trauma themes and death of people. And like unhealthy relationships. It's like a dom sub kind of thing. So we'll do that. So anyone who's not into those things, not into them, but anyone who's not okay with those things, bounce for just a little bit. I don't think this will it'll take very long. I'm gonna sneeze. Phew! Oh my gosh. Okay. Things have gotten worse since we last spoke. The people who were on my Goodreads who read it, it was very, like, mixed reviews. Some people seemed to really like it, some people didn't. I really liked it. I would say there's only three short stories in it, which I still counted as short stories because, like, each story was, like, 100 pages, give or take. And I was like, these are short stories. There's 3 of them. So I put it in the short stories category for my Powell's readathon. And the author uses he, they pronouns. So I also, for the Couple of Goose one, used it for like a trans author. But yeah. So the first short story is called Things Have Gotten Worse Since We Last Spoke. It is an exchange of emails between 2 women who meet on this, like, queer page. It's like queer Craigslist is clearly the energy, or maybe like a Facebook group. And they talk for a while. Basically, one woman says to the other, like, I've always wanted to be, like, in charge of someone else, like someone's, like, master, essentially. And the second woman is like, I would love for you to do that for me. So, you know, one starts, like, paying for everything of the other, and she's like, go to work with no underwear on, like, you know, wear a sexy outfit to work, like, da-da-da-da. And then it gets weirder, where, like, she asks the woman to, like, carry this salamander around all day, and then at the end of the day, like, kill the salamander. And it gets weirder and weirder. And then basically the sub is like, I want to have a baby with you. Like, they don't discuss, like, how that would be possible via, like, in vitro or whatever. They just, like, talk about it. And the rich one is like, I don't have that kind of ability right now. But, like, if you go out and get a parasite, then it'll be like you're pregnant because you'll have something living inside of you. I'm going to pause in case anyone needs to bounce now. Because it is about to get in that direction gross. So if you don't want to hear about that, leave for like 3 minutes. I have also thought many times it's exactly the same. And then, yeah, so she does do that. She does it. She gets a parasite by eating, like, tainted meat or whatever. And then the rich one is like, you're crazy. I didn't think you would do it. What you should have said was like, no, this is beyond my limits. And she is like, I don't want to talk to you anymore, to the sub. And then the sub goes cuckoo bananas, as they say, as the clinical term, I believe. And she talks about the parasite being like, you know, I'm growing our son. He's going to be so beautiful. Da 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 da. And like, the rich one's like, no, like, even without taking the medication. Sorry about that. Even without taking the medication the doctor gave you, like, people typically eventually pass parasites. Like, there's not anything you can do. And that's what happens. This girly passes the parasite, and then she's like, I'm gonna carry him around. Like, he's beautiful. He has your eyes. And then she dies from, like, not going to the hospital after passing a parasite. And that's the entire short story of the first one. As someone who is trying to conceive, I thought it would be stressful. I didn't think it was because I was so intrigued. I was like, what? I didn't see anything coming. And it's also written, like, literally between, like, IMs and emails between the two characters. And so it was a really fast read. I read the entire short story in, like, 40 minutes. And I started this book and I read more than half of it in the first night. Because I was like, what the fuck is happening? Which is why I love horror. Don't ask for what you don't want. So true. It was very interesting. I will be thinking about it for the rest of my life. It is a little gory, descriptive in, like, the parasite salamander death ways. So true, Red. I did paraphrase, like, there is more stuff that happens between those two events. But yeah. Yeah. I thought it was going to go in a completely different direction. I thought it was going to be that, like, the rich one has this habit of, like, collecting these women and then killing them, or, yeah, and that's not what happened at all. The rich one was, like, a little cuckoo bananas for sure. A little strange. But, like, it was a lot. I love you, goodbye. It was a lot. The second short story. Hang on, let me tell everyone we're not talking about parasites. Okay. Second short story is about this couple who they're, like, all really like, the mom and the son are really, really religious. The dad is not. The son, like, acts as if he is the second coming of Christ. He, like, has wounds on his hands like Jesus does when he's nailed on the cross. He prays, like, 5 times a day. He fasts, things like that. He ends up dying, nailed to a cross in his bedroom. Either, like, I think the county rules it as, like, suicide, but it's, like, very weird because, like, how could he nail himself to a cross? He's also, like, 18 or 19, something like that. And his, like, last wish is that his parents stay together because it was very obvious they were about to get divorced. So then it fast forwards, like, a couple years, and the parents are together, but they clearly hate each other. And they end up going to this, like, island where this man's gonna get, like, some job as, like, the caretaker. Very like The Shining, except it's, like, instead of the winter snowy mountains, it's, like, an island during the winter because no one's like visiting. This one was my least favorite because like I can tell you what happens in the rest of the story, but like while a little interesting, it kind of ends up not really mattering because essentially like what you learn is like everybody dies and like it doesn't matter. It's like whatever you believed was going to happen to you is what happens. So like I think the mom, I actually don't remember, but one of the parents dies and like gets to be with the son, but the other one, I think it's the dad. No, it's definitely the mom. The dad and the son supposedly like get to be together, but the mom doesn't because she like faltered in her belief, which is crazy because the dad didn't have the belief to begin with. I don't know what the point of this one is. I don't get what they were trying to say. And I guess, granted, I don't really always know. I didn't really with the first one. I just thought it was really interesting. I didn't feel like this one was interesting enough to not have a clear point. Except the only point I can think of is like that like worrying about the afterlife your whole life just like ruins your current life and potentially the afterlife. So like just like live your life. I don't know. I guess like what I think what it's supposed to be is like whatever is right for you is like where you end up, which doesn't make any sense. So anyway, this mom now has to like live an entire other life until like this angel like determines she's ready to like go join her husband and her son wherever they are. And like I think that's supposed to be like the true horror of it is like being separated from your family forever potentially. So, like, while it is, like, strange and interesting, it wasn't really scary. Other than, like, their son dying in a creepy way. Because he was obsessed with Jesus. So, I don't know. It was fine. It wasn't my favorite. It was my least favorite. I think if this one was good, then I probably would have given it 5 stars. But I thought the middle one was just okay. The last short story, I feel, is, like, a perfect short story. Do you guys remember, maybe they didn't make everyone read it. I don't know. I think, I personally think that it was Sewer Slide. Personally. I think if you are, moral of the story, don't be obsessed with Jesus, literally. I think if you read it and you don't want to read it that way, that's fine. But I think it was that, like, this boy thought that he had, like, a higher calling. And his higher calling is to, like, bring people to the attention of Jesus. Because I know people like that. So, anyway, the third short story. I don't know if they made everyone read this. We've talked about it before. But do you guys remember having to read The Most Dangerous Game in, like, 8th or 9th grade as a short story? It's the one where, like, the man, this, like, super rich man invites at least one, but I think maybe multiple, poor people to his island, and he hunts them for sport. And if they win, they get money. Like, if they can survive the 2 weeks that he's hunting them or whatever. And it's clearly supposed to be about, like, I think it's supposed to be about capitalism and, like, a system in which, like, rich people profit off of poor people. I remember it was, like, the first short story that I ever had to read. I'm so sorry everyone hated it. It's the first short story I ever had to read, and I was like, this is interesting. Because I feel like they're normally just boring. And I remember being like, well, hold on. Let's discuss this. Not because I'm trying to dangerous game anyone. I'd like to be clear. But I did think that it was really interesting. And I feel like before that, all the short stories I had read were, like, just predictable and boring. And I had no idea. I found it interesting, but objectively a bummer. Yes, so true, bestie. Yeah. So this has big Most Dangerous Game energy. So I loved it. Basically, the main character is a gay man who I think is white, is definitely married to a white guy who is incredibly racist, who he hates. Which is a bold choice. I will say the author literally is queer. And I think he's trying to be like, there are also bad gay people. And like, so true, bestie. You know, all right. Y'all got anti-capitalist reading in school? That rips. Yeah, it was definitely anti-capitalist. So the book starts, I forget everyone's name, but the main character, we'll call him Paul? Sure, I don't remember his name. Actually, no, we'll call him Jack. We'll call the other one Paul. Jack, married to this horrible man. In his brain, he's like, and I hate my husband, but like, we're both old, so he's gonna die soon. And the reason he hates the husband, there's a lot of them, but he's specifically racist to this man who lives in their neighborhood. And like, he's not like yelling anything at the man, it's just like in their home he's saying like racist things. And so the main character, Jack, is like, oh my god. He finds like something in his backyard that he thinks belongs to this other man. And then he goes to the other man's house, and we'll call him Paul, because I remember his initials are PR, I think. And that man, I think, is supposed to be like Jewish or Italian or Latina. I don't remember what his name was. I don't remember. The point is, he's not like the racist husband. He's something else. Anyway, so I retract my first statement. So Jack goes to Paul's house. He's like, hey, I found this thing in my backyard. Does it belong to you? It's got your initials on it. And that guy's like, yeah, it does. Come on in. So thoughtful of you to bring it over. It was an invitation. And then Jack is like, an invitation? He's like, yeah, I wanted you to come to my house, but like, I didn't know if you or your husband would find it first. I was hoping it was you, because like, clearly your husband is racist and bad. And that guy's like, well, yeah, it's so true. He is. I wish we could get divorced, but we won't. So. And then, so he goes inside. Or no, he goes like into this man's yard. And I guess Paul is like rich. Another rich guy. And he's like, have you ever like made a bet? Have you ever gambled? And Jack's like, I mean, you know, like here and there, not really. And then Paul's like, oh my god, I love gambling. What if I bet you $500 that you can't clean all the snow off my car in 3 minutes? And if you do, I'll give you $500. And then Jack's like, oh, we're actually like kind of poor. Like, I can't lose $500. And then the guy's like, tell you what, I'll give you $500 if you win. And if you don't, like, you don't owe me anything. And he's like, okay, seems like a stupid gamble, but whatever. So they do that. He clears his car off in less than 3 minutes, so he gets $500. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. And he hands it to him. And then the second thing he does is like, I have a shed over there that has 4 locks, but all the keys are like here on this ring. If you can figure out which key unlocks which lock in like 45 seconds and unlock all the doors, then, you know, I'll give you $1,000. So that's $1,500 total. But if you lose, you just give me back my $500. And then the guy's like, okay, I mean, I guess if I lose, like, I'm not any worse off. So I'll do it. And he does it and he wins. So he gets $1,500. And then there's a third bet. And it's like, if he can solve this puzzle that's like written in this book. I don't trust a guy with 4 locks on his shed. If he can solve this puzzle that's like inside the shed, written in this book or written on the wall or something, then he gets $3,000. And he's like, okay, but like, you know, I just give you the money back if I lose, right? And he's like, yeah. So he solves it, and the thing says, like, you'll find it's like that everywhere, is like the answer. And he finishes it in like 30 seconds. And the guy's like, oh my god, no one's ever finished it that quickly. Like, no one's ever figured it out. And he's like, cool. So he's walking away with, it was $1,500 plus $3,000, so I think it's $4,500 at this point. And then he's like, okay, well, like, I should go home to my horrible racist husband. So, see ya. And then he's like, well, don't you want to keep betting? And he's like, you know, no thanks. Like, this is kind of weird, you know. I gotta go. And then the rich guy's like, I'll give you $100,000 for the last bet. And he's like, $100,000? That's a lot of money. What do you mean? And he was like, I just, I love betting. It's the greatest thrill of my life. I love it. Da, 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 da. I'll give you $100,000. I'll give you $100,000. And the guy's like, okay, what is it? So they go up to this man's attic. Horrible mistake. Horrible. Don't do it. They go up to the rich man's attic, and he has a guillotine. So this is going well, right? I think we all know where it's going. And Jack, the poor guy, he's like, what's this? And he's like, this is my guillotine. It's like, it's vintage. It's like from 1840 or da-da-da-da. What I want is for you to, like, get in it. You're going to put your arms through the thing, and I'm going to... Do you love my guillotine? Thank you, it's thrifted. I'm going to put handcuffs on you. So you can't, like, pull through. You put your little head in the thing. And I'm also going to give you the key to unlock the handcuffs. And all you have to do is, within 15 seconds, undo your little handcuffs with the key that I gave you and back out before the guillotine falls. And he's like, I don't know, da-da-da. And he's like, come on, $100,000? For $100,000 you won't do it? I'm going to give you the key. And then he's like, I don't know, this seems kind of bad. And he's like, no, it'll be totally fine. And so he, like, puts, like, a melon or something in it, and the guillotine falls to show, like, it, it'll cut it in half. And what do you mean I don't know? And so the guy's like, well, like, I do hate my husband. So, like, worst case, I die? Okay, whatever. All right, I'll do it. So he climbs in, he puts his alarm to the thing. The guy puts the handcuffs on him, gives him the key. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to start counting from 15. Can I practice first? 15 seconds is fast. Let your husband do the trick. So the guy, he hands him the key. He starts to undo the first one, and it I think it clicks one time, but not the rest of the way. So like it is the right key, supposedly. And he drops it, and it goes like across the attic floor, because he's like so nervous, obviously. And then he's like, wait, give me the key. And the man is just ignoring him and counting down from 15. So he's on like 10 seconds as this man drops the keys. And he's like, I need the keys. And then the guy's just like still counting down from 10. And he just like keeps doing it until the 15 seconds are up. The guillotine falls. Like he hears it fall. And then he can like hear the man like laughing, and he can see him. And then the man undoes the handcuffs, and the guy is actually totally fine. He like pulls out, and there was like a stopper that like he couldn't see. So like his head, he was never in any danger. The man like put a little blocker on it so like it couldn't fall and actually cut off his head. And then like Jack, the poor guy, is like so stressed out, so mad. He's like, what the fuck? Da 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 da. You put me in all this danger, and like, or you put me like in this place, and like I wasn't even like actually in danger. And then the guy basically is like, yeah, it was a cute little prank. It was a little prank I did on you. And he was like, you should have seen your face. Ha ha ha. And then, he doesn't get the $100,000 because he didn't undo his handcuffs. But he does get to keep the $4,500 or whatever. So he is like, I'm going home and like leaving. Goodbye. So he goes home to his horrible husband. And then it's like a year later, and he hasn't seen, like, you've been punked. He hasn't seen Paul in the neighborhood. Like, he still lives there. They haven't seen him move either. But they're at, like, the neighborhood, like, barbecue or something. And he sees, like, another guy with another, like, bone fragment that has this man's, like, initials on it, because that's what he found in his backyard. And that's like how it ends, is he like notices that he like has a new victim that he's gonna like gamble with. I'm just a prankster, it's for my YouTube. Isn't that silly me always dropping my bone fragment? Isn't that so much? Isn't it though, Paper? I thought it was really good. He didn't get the $100,000 because he didn't complete the task. Because he dropped the keys. But he did get the $4,500 from the first 3 bets. This definitely seems like it was written by a queer man. This is queer man horror. It was a ride. I was like, this man's gonna die, and it's gonna be like, don't fucking trust weirdos who live in your neighborhood and go to their house for no reason. Which is still like probably the takeaway, but it was really interesting. Hello, Gray, welcome. Yeah, he still went home to his shitty husband. Top 5 weirdest grinder dates. He still went home to his shitty husband. I don't know what he did with the money. It was... I bet he did a story time on his TikTok after. It was super interesting. Now, it was clearly fucking strange. Hopefully he went to therapy. Storytime, I almost got murdered. It was so much. It was so much. It was really interesting. Let's see. What else do I want to discuss? Oh, wait, I want to do it by... Can I do it by something? Date red. There we go. What's the weirdest thing that ever happened to me? Great question. I'd love to tell you. Just on like a random Tuesday afternoon. He was like, here we go. Okay, hang on. I've got two here I'm going to have you vote on. I would like to discuss one more than the other, so I'll probably do both of them, but... Okay. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Or this thing between us. This happened to my buddy Eric. Okay, but didn't it have most dangerous game energy? It's a wild ride. That's how I felt about the first short story as well. Which is why I liked it. I was like, what the fuck is about to happen? The entire last story. It's the people hunting one, yeah. I'm sure you can look it up. Yeah, it's where this man invites... It's very Squid Games. It is Squid Games. It's what it is. Just different. Just much simpler. Squid Games is about, like, being smart, and this one was just about being fast. I love Morgan tells me scary stories instead of me reading them. I love any media that involves a death game that has rules. It was really fun. I'm all about these Squid Games. I really like Squid Game. Squid Games? Squid Game. I just noticed that I have 2 back-to-back books that I read where the first thing I wrote was 4.5 stars, had no idea where it was going. And then I wrote more, but... Do a horror story stream? I mean, that's a little what I'm doing now. Do you mean, like, reading them? Because I think legally I'm not allowed to. I'm not supposed to just read directly from books on Twitter. Now, I mean on Twitter, on Twitch. Now, I'm certain some people have done it. But considering this is how we make a large portion of our income. So true, Amy. My brother is like super into Mr. Beast. And I'm happy for him that he has creators that he cares for. But like... He'll be like, yeah, he did this thing where he made everyone stand in a circle. Every day the circle got smaller. And whoever stayed the longest got like $100,000 or something. And I was like... Or he could just give strangers money. And I know he does that too, but like, he could do it with no... If you research an author who replies to people a lot, you could probably get their permission. That's true. My brother really likes Logan Paul. Sometimes brothers have bad taste. And it's not a crime. Tomorrow. Nice. It's fine. He's more or less a bad person anyway. I love it here. Oh, must so god. That's not what I meant, and you know it. Okay. Oh, that's true. I think so. I don't know. Like creepypasta, but... Okay. Why the heck would you do it like that? That was so scary, and now I'm scared. Nice. Okay, let me unpin this bad boy. Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant. Unpin now. Beautiful. Spoilers. I don't think we need any content warning. Actually, no. Yeah, I would say yes, actually, for one part of it. Can you guys hear how creaky my little desk is? Hold on. It's the monitor rubbing up against something. If I could spell, that would be great. Here we go. Perfect. No worries, paper. It's really good, so you don't want to be spoiled. Okay. We are switching books. We are changing books. We're switching to a different book. This is the book that we are switching to. If you don't want to hear about it, you should go for just a little bit. Go away for a little bit, maybe come back in a little bit. All right, I'm back. I just got spoiled for The Bachelorette. I shouldn't have followed her. I should have unfollowed her when they picked her as The Bachelorette. No one say anything. I'm so sad. It's okay. We're literally watching it tonight. So I only found out a few hours before we watch it. It's still not on Hulu? What? It should be on Hulu today. Spicy. Okay. Anyways. It's fine. Pinless, you're so right. I'll wait till the ad ends before we start talking. Oh, let me update the content warning. All right. I mean, Goof Reads is cute. The problem is that Phoebe isn't here. And I feel like single Goof, not the same. You know, you are literally so smart, though. Okay, we're going to talk about tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. If you have no idea what this book is about and you're going to stay, that's fine. The biggest content warnings I'm going to give are like a workplace shooting. And the other biggest thing is like jealousy and regret within like a long friendship. So like maybe some like existentially feelings about friendship. So that's fine. Oh, I was gonna just go over that part. Yeah, I was just gonna breeze right past it. No, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. I'm going on like the biggest parts of it. And like, I mean, that is a big part, but like, you know, the three main characters mostly. Okay, are we ready? I'm going to read the synopsis. No, you're fine. I totally forgot about it, to be honest. And not just her, but the other one. Okay. On a bitter cold day in the December of his junior year at Harvard, Sam Mazer exits a subway car and sees, amid the hordes of people waiting on the platform, Sadie Green. He calls her name. For a moment, she pretends she hasn't heard him, but then she turns, and a game begins. A legendary collaboration that will launch them to stardom. These friends, intimates since childhood, borrow money, begs favors, and before even graduating college, they have created their first blockbuster, Ichigo. Overnight, the world is theirs. Not even 25 years old, Sam and Sadie are brilliant, successful, rich, but these qualities won't protect them from their own creative ambitions or the betrayals of their heart. Spanning 30 years, from Cambridge, Massachusetts to Venice Beach, California, and lands between and far beyond, Gabrielle Zevin's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a dazzling and intricately imagined novel that examines the multifarious nature of identity, disability, failure, the redemptive possibilities in play, and above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. Yes, it is a love story, but it's not one you have read before. I gave this 5 stars, and I gotta be honest, I thought I wasn't gonna like it. I thought the cover was, like, cute. I had no idea, like, what it could possibly mean. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, if you don't know, is literally from Macbeth, the Shakespeare play. And it's a soliloquy that one of the characters does. And ultimately, like, I mean, you could argue about what the soliloquy is about, but, like, it's kind of about how, like, time doesn't stop and, like, things are always going to keep happening. Yeah. It's one it was hard to put down. I read it all. It's, like, 400 pages. I read it all in, like, less than 24 hours, I think. It was so good. It was so good. It was just so good. Incredibly diverse characters. The main character is, I think, half Jewish and has a disability. It talks a lot about that. He is, like, probably the main character, I would say, Sam. I think it's third person perspective, so I don't think it's, like, necessarily from I don't think it's like him saying I. I think it's third person. Also a lot of, it's just so good. They meet when they're kids, and Sam is in the hospital a lot because of his disability. He was in a car crash, if I remember right. Really fucks up his leg. He has issues with his leg the rest of his life. He's in and out of the hospital a lot. Had a lot of surgeries. Then